Just like there's a power in the pause, there's a power in pivoting. And it's understanding that, okay, here's your life. No matter how you got here, you're here. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to sit on the sidelines, encouraging all your friends to go and live their dreams? Are you going to step into your power and onto the court and live your life and what you were meant to live?
Welcome to Women Thrive podcast. This is where you'll get to hear incredible stories of female entrepreneurs, business owners, women from all walks of life. Myself, Raymond Jan, and my co-host Abigail will be interviewing incredible women, hearing inspiring stories of women from all around the world. I have no doubt that you will find something that will be life-changing for you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and join us for our future episodes.
So hi, everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of the Women Thrive podcast. My name is Abigail Rebecca. I am your host. We are recording this today, but my voice is still a little bit croaky, so I'm just going to straight up apologize for that. But the majority of the time, you're going to hear from our wonderful, wonderful guest that we have on our show today. Her name is Jennifer Perri. She's an award-winning transformational life and empowerment coach, certified divorce and recovery coach, and 3 times best-selling author. Her journey from adversity to triumph fuels her mission to empower women through life's challenges. And she guides and coaches women to script their own comeback stories. And I really love this actually about what Jennifer does. You know, this is all about really betting on yourself, understanding that nobody's there to save us. We create our own destinies. We can craft and design our own lives. And I'm really, really excited to speak to Jennifer about this today. So welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you for having me, Abigail. I hope you get better quickly. I know you're feeling it over there, but you still sound great.
Thank you so much. I do feel like there's a certain, uniqueness to my voice. I always think of Phoebe Buffay in Friends when she sang Smelly Cat and she got all sexy because she loves So maybe I sound like that. Maybe I don't. So Jennifer, where are you joining us from in the world?
Right. I am in the North Georgia mountains in Atlanta, near Atlanta, in a town called Jasper. So it's not snowing outside, but it really feels like it should be.
Right. Well, it's great to have you here. And as you know, Women Thrive, we're a global community. We have audience and listeners and also our wonderful speakers and authors and podcast guests from all around the world. So how amazing is technology that we can connect in this way?
It is absolutely amazing.
So Jennifer, I've just done a very quick introduction there, but can you please share with us a little bit more about what you do, your vision and your mission in this world, but most importantly, the reason why you do it? Would really love to hear your story as well.
Absolutely. So I started my career probably 26 years ago, came out of a really nasty divorce, had to figure out a lot on my own. And one of the biggest areas that I struggled in was finances. My first husband was very abusive. So our marriage ended. He went to prison. I had to pick up the pieces with 2 small children and couldn't figure out how to do that. Right. So I was a single mom, no child support, no anything. Worked 3 jobs, had to pick up the pieces by myself and learn how to budget, learn how to stretch whatever I was making. And so I knew that I really had a struggle with finances. And I knew that there were more women out there like me. I had met so many single moms, so many women who were escaping abuse and escaping marriage for one reason or another. And I set my sight on having a career, starting a job in the financial segment and sector. So I did that. And throughout that period of time, became very successful in that space. But noticed as I was working primarily with women that were coming out of divorce or widows or single moms, that there was just a lot of things in life that they were trying to sort out. And it wasn't just all about the money. It was about, what do I do next? How do I pick up the pieces? And I knew when I was coming out of my divorce, there wasn't a me out there. There wasn't somebody that I felt understood what I was going through and could literally say, okay, here's your next step. So I wanted to become for other women the woman that I needed when I was going through one of the toughest periods of my life. So fast forward into my coaching career, right when COVID hit, I was still in finance, but my clients weren't calling me asking me about their money. They were calling me because we had built such a level of comfort with one another that now they were dealing with, well, what is going on in the world? People were getting sick, children were passing away, spouses were passing away, people were losing jobs. And I found myself talking more to them about life and about how to be prepared and really being there for them, just as somebody that could listen to them, validate their feelings. And I knew, you know what? I've been indirectly coaching women in finances for 20 years, but now we were dealing with life. And I started kind of adding that service in. But then 2 years ago, my life drastically changed. And I'm remarried and I woke up 3 days before Christmas and didn't feel right. And within a week, I was in the hospital. I was paralyzed from the face down. I was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome. So here I am, 50 years old, now fighting for my life. And it really, it really made me through that whole experience and how I came out the other side of it, realize that even when I was at my worst period in my life, I was still continuing to coach people. I was coaching my therapists who weren't sure if they made the right choice in their job. I was encouraging other people about getting up and walking when I couldn't move my legs. And I thought, all right, God, I get it. Like this is really where I'm supposed to be. So I made this shift just a little over 2 years ago, full time into coaching.
Wow, Jennifer. How are you now? How's your health now?
I am fantastic from the waist up. I tell everybody I still have, relearning how to walk again and use your hands and all those things when you're 50 years old is not easy. And so my legs still struggle. I can walk. I'm not using a cane or in a wheelchair any longer. I can drive. I'm a little slower than I was before. I don't have all the feeling back in my legs and in my hands and things, but I have a very normal, blessed life. Well, they didn't think I was going to walk for a year and a half, but I started to walk in 8 weeks. Actually, today is the 2 year anniversary of me taking my first steps again. So I'm good. This is the best that it gets. I am blessed, but I am determined to be better than I was before. But thank you for asking.
Wow, Jennifer. I mean, such an incredible story. I think what really stands out for me there is we can be at the lowest low and our deepest, I don't know, almost, they're like the valley of despair. I always call it the valley of despair, right? When we're at our deepest low and you still are there serving others, you're still there, really being able to hold a space for others. And I think that when you have that faith, then when you have that mindset, when your soul operates like that, then that's the ultimate freedom, right? Because our
Absolutely.
bodies can change, outside circumstances can change all of the time. If we can stay consistent inside, then that's freedom.
Well, and you're exactly right. And I think for me, I'm a mindset coach. I'm also a manifestation and law of attraction coach. So a lot of that I dug into further because I saw how it worked in my own personal life. And what was, I think, the most humbling for me is that here I am in the hospital, afraid to tell my clients that I literally can't hold the phone to talk to them right now, thinking that they wouldn't think I was competent and could be there for them. But all of the quotes and the inspiration and all of the things that I had shared with them over our time together started coming back. And they were sending me text messages, remembering things that I had said to them, or cards, giving me the same inspiration, telling me to look within. And it was like this beautiful full circle moment in your life where it was a further affirmation of you are doing exactly what you are meant to do. And God has given you this mountain because you're the one that's going to show other people how to move theirs. So I felt and my mind, literally, I got tired of sitting on the couch watching people walk around me. I'm like, listen, you said I wasn't going to walk for a year and a half. I am tired of this. Like my husband's doing the laundry. Is he doing it the right way? I probably should get over there and fix that, but I got tired of it. And I would go to sleep. I couldn't get up the stairs. We eventually had a chairlift come in and all, but I had to sleep on the couch and my husband slept right by my side. But I had playlists every night that I would play things like the song Rise Up and, I Can Only Imagine and If You Can Dance and all those things. And I would visualize this is what I'm going to do again. Stop it. Don't think you're never going to walk again. And that visualization and my mind definitely, and the love of my husband and my family, that is the only reason I moved out of it as quickly as I did, because we can control more than we think that we can control.
You mentioned music there. Did music play a big part in that?
Music played a huge part in that. I mean, a huge part, to the point where within the past year, I met one of my best friends, and her name is Heidi Bulford. Her and her husband, Johnny, here in the States, they write for a lot of big country artists. They've had a lot of incredible things happen. And they recently wrote my own life song, my life soundtrack, and it's called She Is Me. And just the little bit of time that they spent in my life, they got to see everything that I had been through and were able to condense it into like 3 minutes and 20 seconds, which is amazing, right? But I use that for myself because I don't allow myself to stay stuck in any emotion for longer than a country song. And I tell my clients that. I say, set a timer, put your favorite song on, have whatever emotion you need, get in the feels. When that song is over, you need to pick yourself up and move forward. You do not stay stuck in it. So I have used it in my recovery. I use it when I'm talking about my story. I use it with my clients because I think, just like you're global, my clients have I have clients all over the place, but music connects us, right? It connects us. Have all the feels that we possibly can in it, but it played a huge part and continues to play a huge part in my life.
Yeah. How amazing that you had a song written for you. I mean, if you're able to, we'd love to share the link in the show notes.
Oh,
People can
absolutely.
listen in. I'd love to hear that. How amazing. Is that a country song?
Yes. Well, it's a little country-ish, little poppy.
No,
But
it's a
it's good.
country and pop.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, I mean, that just shows you as well, to inspire someone to write a song, that's a biggie, right? To actually inspire someone to do that.
Mhm.
So when I look at your bio, and I know, like, we write our bios and we can't put everything in there, but there are so many elements, with what you do. Like, so you've got your own, obviously, life experience and your own journey and story that you've been on. And thank you so much for sharing that with us. So you can pull on that experience. Obviously, you transformational life and empowerment coach. You're a divorce and recovery coach. You've spoken about law of attraction, manifestation, financial expertise. And what I really love about what you're talking about is that you really empower women to be able to script their own comeback stories. Can you explain a little bit more about that and about all the elements that you encompass into your work?
Absolutely. I grew up with a very well-known role model, and it was Wonder Woman. And I always loved her strength and her ability. Like, I am a Wonder Woman fan. You can't see my office, but throughout the years, my clients have sent me everything you can imagine about Wonder Woman. And the name of my company is Shero Life and Empowerment Coaching, because I think that every woman has a superhero that's inside of her. We just have to help her understand what her powers are. And majority of my clients have come to me when something drastic has happened in their life. They're coming out of abuse, they're coming out of divorce, they've lost a spouse, they've lost a job. Something has pushed them into a pivot of their life and they don't understand what to do. And just like there's a power in the pause, there's a power in pivoting. And it's understanding that, okay, here's your life. No matter how you got here, you're here. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to sit on the sidelines, encouraging all your friends to go and live their dreams? Are you going to step into your power and onto the court and live your life and what you were meant to live? So I equip women with all of that. And I do that through my coaching. I do that through my programs. And the most recent thing I added was the empowerment blueprint, which uses the CAPE method. As you can imagine, it's a cape, right?
I love
Superheroes.
it.
Cape.
Yeah.
But I take women through finding clarity and confidence in their life. What is it that you want? What is it that you've desired for yourself? And how confident do you feel right now? Where are you starting from? Where do you want to be? Then we go through understanding you have to live authentically. We live in a world of people faking it. You have to be true to you and what you want. And then what you want needs to be aligned with what it is that you have and your core values and your visions for yourself. Then you have to figure out what your passions and your purposes are. Figuring out if they go together. Imagine, I love what I do. I don't have a job. This is a calling, right? So you want to have something that you do that you just love. So you have to find out your passion and your purpose. And then about every decision you make in your life and about your money, you've got to be empowered. So then I help you become empowered and then I help you execute your dream action plan. Because I can tell you for me, I felt alone. I had no one. But now you have me, you have a community of people who are here to encourage you and support you. You're not going through it by yourself. So I essentially give you the tools that you need. You just have to be willing to invest in yourself and believe that you're worth it. And for a lot of my clients, they don't when they start out, right? So I let them borrow my belief in them so that they can achieve whatever it is they want. And for some of them, they actually have this as like a physical thing where they get to a point where they give my beliefs back to me and say, I got it from here. I know you're there to encourage me, but here you go. Thanks for letting me borrow them. Because I can tell you when I started out years and years ago, I wouldn't have invested $5 in myself. I wouldn't have thought I was worth it. So it's helping women realize that you are unique, you are beautiful in what you do. There is something totally epic out there for you. You have to just find it. And you need somebody that can help you unlock it. So that's what I do for the women that I work with.
It must be such an empowering moment when a woman gives you back her belief. Well,
It
you're
is.
in her. She has her
It
own.
is.
Yeah.
It's very empowering for both of us, and I've had clients that I've had for almost 30 years, that even though we keep in touch, I know what's going on in their life, they still will call me because they want me to know that they've been doing great with what they're doing. They want me to celebrate with them. They want me to be there and to support them. There are a lot of women that tell me all the time, I could not have gotten through this had you not believed that I could. And where would I have been 10 or 15 years later? It is the whole experience is very empowering for women, but they also are coming in at different points and different times. And for some women, it just takes longer than the other. But just know you're not alone. There are people like me. I'm not the only life coach that's out there, but everything that I teach my clients from becoming a millionaire to transforming their life are all the things that I've used in my own life. So it's tested, it's tried, it's worked. So that's what, and I feel so blessed to have the opportunity every day to help people.
Yeah. I can really feel that from you. I can feel your passion for your vision and your mission. It's really lovely to witness. I know that you were talking about your CAPE method. That's so cool. So aligned, obviously, to your Shero.
Mhm.
And obviously, every circumstance is different and every woman's different. But say, for example, there's someone listening to us today who can really resonate with feeling disempowered and feeling like they don't, that they don't have what it takes and they're just feeling really low and they're the kind of person that really wants to make something happen, but they just don't know where to start. Like, what would you say to them? Like, what would you say, uh, 3 things that they can be doing now that will really help them to get onto this first step of really empowering themselves and carving out the life that they desire?
I would encourage them to sit down with their thoughts for at least 15 minutes to an hour and just a piece of paper and a pen and just put a line down the middle and say, this is what I really like about my life right now. And this is really what I don't. If there's more on a list of things you don't like, then it's time to make a change. And for some of them who are in a spot where maybe they have lived in a very defeating environment for a while, where that other voice has gotten in their head, start looking within. Start and when you have somebody who's saying all these negative things that are coming in, do you believe that? Are they facts? Is it start testing them, start questioning those things. So it's like dealing with limiting beliefs around money and around just life in general. Is what this person's saying, is what I'm believing, is it true? And start testing it. And you'll find out that a lot of it is just what you perceive or what somebody else has made you perceive about yourself. So start listing out the things that are coming in your head after you've spent some time about what it is that you like and don't like. List out things that are constantly playing that role in your head. Write them down and figure out a way that you can rewrite that where it's positive. Once you start doing that and you start believing like, know what, I can do this. I don't care what somebody said because this is what I believe about myself now. Then start talking. And if you've used affirmations, affirmations are very powerful tools. You can start with anything. I am smart. I am beautiful. I am capable. I am, and believe it. Like stand in front of the mirror with your hands on your hips like Wonder Woman and your head back and your chest out and say, you know what? I've got this. I'm amazing. I'm capable. I'm going to go out and get my life. I'm going to do whatever I want. And then connect with me. You can find me anywhere. It doesn't matter where you are at. And join my Facebook group. It's free. Reach out to me directly through social media. If you are at a point where you don't believe that you can invest in yourself to do anything, I have lots of free stuff that we can get you down that path where you believe in yourself. So spend time in your thoughts, spend time writing down what's renting space in your mind. Start believing and affirming that you can live something completely different, and then connect with me and we'll figure it out together.
One of the things that you mentioned there in the first point, when you were talking about writing down all the things that are working in your life, perhaps not, the things that you're happy and the things that you're not quite happy about. You were also talking about, you kind of mentioned environments, being around people that don't necessarily have your back or who don't believe in you. Can you talk a little bit more about that and like the importance of doing this work and really empowering ourselves and creating our lives, designing our lives? How important is environments to that?
Environment is very, very important to that. And I work with a lot of women who get to the other side of their life. I may meet them at 55 and 60, and they feel like they wasted so much time because they were living in an environment that wasn't supportive for them, that wasn't moving them into the next direction of their life because it was for selfish reasons. And I think one of the things that is really powerful to do is establish what we call a no manifesto. It's writing down what you are no longer available for, setting your boundaries, listing it out, and then you may just need to have some really tough conversations. I have had to have really tough conversations with people throughout my life of how I was no longer going to allow them to treat me. And they were hard to begin with, but after a while, you lay out what you're no longer available for and you establish your boundaries and you enforce them. People start taking notice of that. And one of two things is going to happen. They're going to either walk away and say you're crazy, which is fine because you didn't need that energy to begin with. Or they're going to say, oh my goodness, she's finally getting herself together and believing in herself. And they're going to stick around to see how it turns out. Those are the people that you want to have around you who are going to support you and encourage you and now not doubt you, but be there to uplift you. And sometimes you may find at the end of these conversations, it's just you, or maybe you and one friend. I'm going to be 53 this year. I have a very small group of friends because you know what? For me, it's quality over quantity. And the people who surround me are just like, every time I post something, they're cheering me on. They're excited for me. You need to establish that type of tribe around you. And your environment is a very big part of that. So trying to figure out the best way. And for some of you, if you can't escape it, we all have to go to the bathroom, right? We all have to be in our car, right? We all have an ability to find 5 or 10 minutes to just start in that space. even if it has to be outside of your home. But your environment plays really, really strongly into what it is you're trying to do in your life. So just be cautious of who's around you and be cautious of if you decide to take them along with you or not. There's a lot of people who now want to ride on my coattails, but they weren't there when I needed them the most. So too bad.
Yeah. I completely agree with you, Jennifer. And for me, definitely setting my boundaries is the ultimate expression of self-love.
Absolutely.
My boundaries for myself and setting my boundaries for other people. Because then you can start to really, really start to design your life by your own values and start to really evaluate who you want to be hanging out with, right? Because for me, my mind is precious and I'm very, very careful about who influences my mind. And it's not just anyone, right? So
Right,
I
right.
love that you're talking about that.
Well, and I can share this too. I say it a lot. We are going to be invited to a lot of things in our life. And one of those invitations is going to be to arguments. We don't have to accept that invitation just because we were invited to it. So I caution my clients all the time, especially ones that are going through divorce and they have to deal with an ex partner or something. I'm like, just because you get invited someplace doesn't mean you have to accept it. And if somebody's trying to walk you into their crazy or knock you off your path, you can just say, I'm not interested in that. I choose to not go in that direction. It's almost like my mom will be like, I'll pray for you. You know what I mean? Like, but we don't have to accept those invitations in life. We just don't, no matter what it is. So you're right. Boundaries are the most truest form of self love. I believe I agree with you 100% in that. And it's easy, especially as parents, to say, well, we have these boundaries, but as parents, we have a hard time enforcing them. I have 3 sons. How many times did I say, you do that one more time? You do that one more time, that one more time may never come up, right? It's easy to say you have boundaries. It's harder to enforce them. But once you start enforcing them, your life will completely change. And the circle of people around you will change. And 9 times out of 10, it's for the better. So be protective of you. Love yourself and respect yourself the way that you would love and respect your best friend. You have to give yourself that same grace and that same love.
Very wise words. My final question to you, I'm dying to know, how can we be more like Wonder Woman? You were talking about she's your hero, she's your Shero. I'm really intrigued actually as to what is it about her that really appeals to you and how does that character and her energy inspire the work that you do today?
Well, I think obviously the lasso of truth, being really true to yourself, being true to what it is that you want from life, being true to who you are authentically. We are all unique. We have unique sets of skills and things that we bring to the table. So be true to that. And then just feel empowered about everything that you do. Don't let anyone take your power away from you. This is your story. You hold the pen. Nobody else has the right to write it. We're going to meet a lot of people and characters along the journey of our life story, but we are the only ones that hold the pen to write it. So I think if you can just stay true to yourself and feel empowered about the decisions that you make and feel confident and write your own story, there are going to be, I have created and helped train hundreds of Sheroes in this world, and they are doing extraordinary things that they never thought they would be capable of doing because they didn't believe in themselves enough to do it. So I think you just have to step through. If you knew every one of us is meant to do something extraordinary, and you just have to believe it and step into it. So be true to yourself and be empowered about whatever it is that you do every day.
Beautiful. That's a great way to unfortunately end our conversation. I feel like I could talk to you forever about this. It's just great. I love your energy, Jennifer. And I really love your mission and your vision and the support that you are giving with empowering women. We so need this. We need leaders like you
Thank
who are
you.
able to guide us through this. Where can we connect with you? On social media, your website? Can you share a little bit more about how we can kind of connect in with you?
Sure. My website is just my name, jenniferperri.com, Perry with an I. So and I'm very active on Instagram. It's just J Perry Coaching, again with an I. And I'm on Facebook. Again, just J Perry Coaching or jenniferperri.com are the best ways to get a hold of me.
Fantastic. And we'll put all the links down below as well so that you're able to connect in with Jennifer as well. Jennifer, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to have this conversation with you today. Any final words you'd like to leave with our audience before we go?
More than anything, just believe in yourself. It may be something very, very simple, but no matter where you're listening or where you're watching or where you're at in the world, believe that you can do it and step through that door. And if you need help along the way, I'm here.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you. Thank you for being a guest with us today.
Thank you for having me, and I hope you feel better.
Thank you. I'm sure I will. I mean, lots of throat sweets and I'll be good to go. Jennifer, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for watching, for listening. Please make sure that you connect in with Jennifer, follow her on social media, go and visit her website, and let us know what your thoughts are. Really love to hear from you, either here at Women Thrive, or you can contact Jennifer directly as well. I hope you have an incredible day, and we will see you soon.
Thank you for tuning in to Women Thrive podcast. If you found today's episode empowering and inspiring, be sure to subscribe and follow us. Better yet, leave a review and share it with others. We're committed to bringing you more stories that will empower and inspire you on your own journey. Until next time, keep listening, keep learning, and keep pursuing your dreams.